Hey everybody, how's your day going today? Thanks for joining me again. I think I'm going to call this coffee and chat time with Sherry. So here is my coffee, and I don't know how many people will be joining us. I did find some new information that I wanted to share with you guys about the Watts last name. I thought it was really interesting. The 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 name actually was introduced into England by the Normans of the conquest in 1066, and it does have some German background elements to it, and it has also some Scottish origin as well. So sorry if I fumble with my words along here, but I am just so new to this live stuff. Good morning, Angelique. How are you? How's your day? So I thought it was interesting because there's been so much controversy around the Watts name. Everybody's wondering, sort of, you know, well, because of the comment in the picture of Shanann saying "my Mexican baby," which honestly at this point could be because of his tan. It could be because of the shirt he was wearing. I really I don't know. So good morning, Christine. So yeah, we've got court with him. Just waking up, got coffee. Yum. I like having a little bit of, it's called Naughty Cow in my coffee. It's kind of like a Bailey's a little bit. So I just do a little, like a creamer in there. So it's a really nice, smooth, creamy taste to your coffee. I like it. Now you can tell I drank from both sides of my cup. That's what I get for moving around. Oh well. Aesthetics, right? So I hope everybody can hear me okay. I had to place my computer a little bit differently because after I played back some of the um it's funny you're laughing at me, Angelique. I played back some of the live feed from last week and I noticed that it was really muffled, and it's probably because I had it sitting on my ottoman. So the sound of underneath my laptop wasn't really picking up very well. So I have it elevated today, and I'm hoping that that helps with the sound. I'm sure you guys have your own adjustments on your own end. So, is there any topics that anybody would like to talk about? Anything to do with any of the cases that I'm following? Two of the bigger ones that I'm very closely following is David and Louise Turpin, and then of course Chris Watts. Hello, Sarah. Um, but I mean, there's also quite a few natural disasters. That was sort of my other thought, is maybe I should do like a natural disaster update for all of the different stories I was following. There was volcano eruptions in Guatemala as well as Hawaii. Hawaii's actually been in sort of a constant state of eruption, and where honestly, if you guys know the size of a train car, like the size of a train and one, just one of those bins. Well, apparently every second one of those full is being spewed out and kind of reshaping Hawaii. And there's just so many fires going on between like California and even Canada. In BC and Ontario there was a lot this past summer and stuff. So there was a lot that I was following. I mean, literally in my province it was so smoky because of fires on both sides in these provinces. We didn't have any sun. Our sun was literally red. It was, like we had no nice clear skies. Everything was gray and gloomy, and hello, Marion. And definitely you know the red sun was weird, like you just couldn't see anything, and you could tell it was the middle of the day, but it didn't look like it was the middle of the day. It looked like it was nighttime, and it just made it created for a depressing environment, to be honest. So I can't even imagine what the people that are going, like living so close to these natural disasters, are going through. Hi, Jane. Carly Simon. I don't know, or Simon. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look it up. But thank you. But I thought all of the natural disasters happening was pretty crazy. For it to be affecting my province in between, all across Canada. I'm in central, and there's things going on in the west, and there's things going on in the east, and it's, completely changing the atmosphere. Even central was crazy. Oh, she's a singer. I'm vain. Am I vain? Am I vain? Aw. I've never heard anybody say that. Oh no, the song is "You're So Vain." I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. Sorry. It's what happens when you're trying to multitask, reading and talking and thinking ahead of what you're gonna say next. That's the song. Yes, sorry, Jane. Sorry. I'm like, oh, I'm vain. Seriously, sometimes. The Turpin kids are doing amazing. I think that was Marion. Yes. So the Turpin kids are doing amazing. I mean, they are literally just advancing so in strides, and you can imagine sort of being sheltered or held back to the point that you don't know anything, right? Like you don't even have basic knowledge of what a different drinks are, or like, so you can imagine at like 20 and 29 years old, some of these children now that are just figuring out life, that are seeing all these, sure, Angelique, go grab some more coffee, but they're seeing all these new things to life that we have, I don't want to say taken advantage of, but it just, I mean, like, we already have all this knowledge because we were raised, fairly normally. I'm sure we all have our traumatic incidences and stuff that was painful, but that being said, yeah, I think about the Turpin kids all the time. I actually follow a couple of them on social media, just kind of on a sideline. I don't really want to bother them. They're young, and I just, it's just nice to see them taking pictures, and they're out with new friends, and they have these different drinks in their hand, or they're at a restaurant, or, they're just the way they're smiling. They have makeup on. You can tell that they're feeling pretty, they're confident, they're enjoying life, and I think that's what it's supposed to be like. And unfortunately, they were so sheltered and abused for so long that they didn't even know what medicine was, or what a police officer was, never mind probably what restaurants and what other things are out there in the world, that people will actually cook you a meal for a little bit of money, and you can enjoy somebody else's you know, forte, I want to say, like, so you can enjoy somebody else's, you know, methods, or, their cooking, right? Because everybody's different, and there's so many different foods out there, and ethnicities and stuff. So I would imagine that they're just, it's a wildfire day every day, trying to learn new things and stumbling across, something new every day. And I'm sure almost every moment of the day, it's like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's really neat. Just even shopping and taking care of themselves, seeing the world, just seeing parts of the US even. Yeah, it makes my heart rest too, to know. The only thing that really, really worries me about the Turpin kids is when they're going to have kids, when they get to the point of having their own children. Are they going to be so damaged at that point that they're going to possibly repeat some negative behaviors that they learned, being raised by David and Louise? So that's always a really scary thing to think of. But I would hope that the US and, the state has a lot of support in process for these people where they've, the children have gone through, they're going to go through and continuously sort of go through therapy. I have, mixed reviews about therapy. When I was younger, I didn't really like it. I felt forced to do it. I felt forced to talk to somebody or, sort of release my problems or my inner issues. As I got older, I realized that it was a really good thing to do. And as if you can find somebody that you trust, and you can give them your thoughts and your inner turmoil, it will help you deal with that turmoil and not take it out on the rest of the world. It will be a challenge, yes. Hopefully enough good people will cross their paths. Yes, exactly, right? Or just even, the abuse that they endured. Hopefully it was, I don't want to say this to sound mean, but hopefully it was brutal enough that they don't repeat it, that it was so bad that they would never want to do this to their own children. I mean, honestly, I don't know how many of my viewers here are watching that have been pregnant, but it is a really close experience. It's another body growing inside of you. And she had 13. Like, how do you not have remorse, or how do you not have care, or how can you sort of lack even that basic thought for them? Are they eating? Are they clean? Are they clothed? What did they learn today? I mean, it's always exciting to see what your kids are coming home with learning and stuff like that, isn't it? So it's weird, that they chose to homeschool, take them away from everybody, and seclude themselves and then abuse them the way that they did, practicing evil things and all that kind of crap that she was doing to her kids. Angelique, yes, I've been going through therapy. Childhood crap. Yeah, I commend you, Angelique, for doing the therapy because it does help, but that being said, it will only help the people who choose to allow it to help. You know what I mean? Because as a teenager, I went into it thinking this isn't going to help. Like, what are you going to do for me that telling you what's wrong in my heart or my mind or my soul is going to help me at all? And I felt like I just didn't want to trust that person. I didn't believe that they were going to try to help me. I didn't see the value or the benefit in talking with this person. As I aged, I realized that I did actually find value in talking and venting some things out with somebody and hashing things out with somebody and getting a different perspective or a different view, or just a different, even just a thought process on what's going on in my personal life or my family situation or whatever, right? So it depends what's going on in your mind as to whether or not that's going to be something successful for you, in my opinion. Because if you don't want it to help, like it won't help. Like if you go into it closed-minded thinking this isn't going to work anyways, or this sucks, or you don't get like the person that you're trying to talk to, like that can happen too. I switched counselors many times because I just didn't get a good vibe or a good connection with them. So I just felt that, well, I'll look for somebody else and I'll try to talk to them and I'll see how I like them. So I'm glad you agree. Thanks, Angelique. Yes. Can you have my number, anonymous hacker, please? Well, that's just a little bit weird. I'm sorry. I would feel okay if you would like to email me. I'll put my email on there for you, okay? All right, there you go. Excuse me. So I do have a couple of questions for you guys. I was wondering about expanding my channel into different channels, like starting up some new channels. I will obviously continue this channel, but I was thinking about branching into some other things, like I really like to bargain shop. I do cook regularly. Um, and then I do also I do the medical marijuana. So I didn't know how many people might be interested in seeing other content from me other than true crime stories, natural disasters, and sort of chaos happening around the world, which is something that interests me regardless. So I would never stop doing this channel. But I was thinking about expanding a little bit, and I wondered if there was any interest in anything else that um, I have fibromyalgia too, Jane. I also deal with depression regularly, and then I have chronic neck and back pain. I have bulging discs all through my neck and back, all the way down. So I'm sort of constantly dealing with pain. And actually, one of my favorite strains of flower is the CBD. It has no THC in it. So there's no like slowing your cognitive, you know, mind. You're just sort of calming all the pain. And it's temporary. But oh, Angelique, I'm so happy to hear that. That's great. I feel that there's a lot of benefits to it. I know that there's a lot of people out there that still are a little unsure. I think some people still look at it as like a gateway drug. I really don't feel that's the case. And, to be honest with you guys, I've done my fair share of partying and stuff like that. But, you grow up and you realize there's more to life. And, you want to remember the things that you do every day because they're your memories. And I mean, I don't know, personally I got sick of it and I moved on, and just the medical marijuana was something that helped me with a wide range of things. I had some sleep issues, and so I was on some sleep aids and I really didn't like them. They really made me groggy. It was really, really hard for me to get up in the morning. I was dragging my butt, like literally, like I was still tired by like almost lunchtime. And I'm like, this is not normal. You should be able to get up in the morning and it maybe takes you an hour to kind of get your shit together, and then you carry on with your day, and you might get a little bit tired or whatever, but if that's normal, you know what I mean? But to be groggy halfway through the day is over, all because of a sleep aid that kind of, excuse me, knocked me out, like was not okay with me anymore. Like I just didn't want to be dragging myself. The CBD capsules is something I have not taken yet. You're in the UK, or you must be in the UK if you're getting it from the UK. Minu, can you please stop scratching at that? Mommy will take you outside after. I'm sorry, my cat is just oy, oy, oy. He's just scratching. He wants to go outside. He's such a little cutie. Yeah, you're such a little cutie. Yes, you are. He's like, I just wanted to go outside. I take him outside every day, a few times a day, actually. Sorry, we're getting off track here, topic wise. It's just because he wouldn't stop scratching. He was like, anyways. Thank you. That's that. I have two. So that one is Minu, a gray one, and then I have a big fluffy white one. He's all white. His name is Cloud. And they both like to go outside on a leash. I actually adopted my white cat like that. I've had cats my whole life, and I've never, ever, ever had a cat go outside on a leash that wants to get walked, like it's a dog trapped in a cat's body. So whatever, we do this every day. We've been doing it for years. It's been about 7 years for me and Cloud, and about 2 with Minu now. So yeah, I do love my cats. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Karen. They're my 2 main boys. I don't have any kids at home and stuff, so it's just me and my kitties. Yes, fibromyalgia is just so irritating. I mean, and to be in constant pain because your circulation isn't working properly. I mean, there's almost nothing you can do about it. It's really frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe you could have a channel just dedicated to your life with fibromyalgia. Well, yeah, I guess I could do something like that. I mean, I find that I struggle with it every day to the point that I get up and I stretch, and then a lot of times before I'm even going to sleep, I'm stretching again. So I have a really big floor space in my living room, and I just sort of moves a little bit of furniture, not very much, just slide a piece of a couch over, and I've got enough room to do all my stretching. Excuse me. I find that that helps, but it's just frustrating to deal with on an everyday daily basis. But that's a really really good suggestion, Jane. I just wonder, would I have enough topics to talk about with just that one condition, or you know that one topic, one fibromyalgia topic. There's some sirens. I don't know if you guys hear them. Probably not. They're probably too far away. Yeah, there are a lot of symptoms to it. I was kind of leaning towards the medical marijuana stuff because it's so happening right now in today's minute, to show different strains, what they do, how they affect you, especially the CBD ones. I mean, I have to just continuously praise that because there's no THC to it, so you're not getting high. You're just you're just taking away all your body pain. Like, and it is literally instantaneous. As you're blowing it out, it just everything just relaxes and goes away. And it doesn't last very long, it's maybe a 5 or 10 minute thing, but like you constantly just you go back to it, right? What else can you do, right? I don't know. Like for me, I'm only 40 years old, and I'm dealing with way too much pain in my opinion for my age. New to the channel, curious. Do I have a background in psychology? Actually, I did take some psychology, but that was back in high school, so I don't really know how much, um, you know, like I didn't really pursue it, is what I'm trying to say. I do have a background as a legal assistant as well as an esthetician. So I used to do nails. I still do. I did my own waxing, facials, relaxation, massage, gel nails, pedicures, manicures, stuff like that for men and women. And I really like that area because, you know, somebody comes in and they're wanting to get beautified, and you did that for them, and they leave feeling pretty again. I love that feeling. I love giving that women that feeling. Or even like the men, the businessmen, they need to use their hands. They're shaking hands with people and stuff like that. So they want a nice manicured look, and they feel more professional, more confident. You just see it in their look, in how they walk out the door. So I really enjoyed that aspect of that, of the esthetician stuff. No problem for answering. Women empowering women. Now that's a fantastic topic, Angelique. Oh, Jane, you're confined to bed. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Is that because of the fibromyalgia? I'm so curious. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I'm just so curious, and I'm also so curious at how old you are, like what age you are. But women empowering women, Angelique, amazing. I love empowering women. I love building people up, making them feel good, because it's so easy to feel bad about ourselves or a situation or get down about life. And I feel like there's just not enough people out there that are even trying to build each other up, or to do nice things, or give compliment people, or just even a smile sometimes. This world is so filled with, this inner hate for each other for some reason, sheer competition, and I don't know. I guess that's the rat race of it. But yeah, I definitely wanted to expand my channel a little bit, but I wasn't really sure what might be of interest out there for everybody. I do love following the true crime stuff because it gives me more closure as after hearing about, traumatic stories and stuff. I always kind of wonder like how did that end? Oh, seriously, Jane, hey? Do you mind me asking what your age is? At least we're not asking face to face, hey? It's like the weirdest question to ask. The second weirdest is, "Are you pregnant?" And the person isn't, and you're like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, oh, 55. Well, that worries me a lot because I'm only 40 and I'm already dealing with fibromyalgia right now. So I sincerely hope. Can I ask you, have you stayed active or after you were diagnosed with fibromyalgia, did you sort of slow things down a little bit? Because I'm trying to stay more active. I'm hoping that that will help. I'm hoping that in the long run, if I'm going to stretch and stay active and go for walks and bike, and I even did some ice skating this past winter, excuse me, last year. Just trying to stay active is what I mean. So I'm trying to do that, hoping that my body will work with me, over the years. I was just diagnosed in 2015, so 3 years ago. Okay, so did you lose that because you couldn't work anymore? Maybe you were diagnosed too far into it and you didn't know that you had it, and so your body's tensing up. I'm guessing. I don't know. Is that kind of what seems to be happening, or and bedridden? Are you at least at home, or are you forced to have to be in a hospital? That would really really suck. Have to be in a hospital all the time. Went from normal to disabled. Wow, that's scary. Congratulations on the four adult kids. That's great. Sounds like an oxymoron. Four adult kids. You know what I mean. Normal to disabled. That's just crazy. Did you have your own business too, or how did that how did that affect your adult children? I mean, hopefully, I'm hopefully they're helping you and stuff. If you guys enjoy my live feeds, a thumbs up would be a great support. I know I say that a lot on my videos and stuff, but here too, I see that I have one thumbs up here, so that would be great if I got some more of those. Yeah, that is really that's huge change, right? To go from having your own business and life's going kind of normal as you see it, right? And then all of a sudden you're out of commission and stuff. Hey, thanks for the second thumbs up, whoever did that. Great. I do enjoy interacting with you guys. Thanks, Karen. Love it. And I find it's kind of empowering for us to kind of come together and just be able to talk about some of those more sensitive issues or, things going on in the world or ourselves. I feel like I kind of almost use this a little bit as a tool to sometimes vent some of my feelings or some of my inner thoughts and emotions and stuff. sort of as a therapy, I want to say, right? But I mean, I realize there's nothing, it's not therapy. I realize that. It's just this is kind of how I'm choosing to use it is by interacting with you guys and getting feedback. And, I would like to be able to feel like we could all ask our stupid questions, or silly questions or, like, can I say this or can I ask that? And it's okay to not know or to be wrong or you know nobody's gonna cut anybody down for not having the full facts or whatever. I think that we can be here to help each other. What is a colorist? You're a colorist and taught color analyst. That's pretty cool. That sounds like a cool job. Are you finding that you're still able to kind of live life though, Jane? Angelique, same thing. Buddy's getting eaten alive by osteoporosis. Oh no. I have a total C spine fusion and two brand reps. Oh my gosh, girl. Wow, that is huge. I mean, wow. See, it just goes to show there's so many of us, going through life like, right? And well, that's good, Jane. That's really good that it hasn't stopped you from living. That's something that I kind of refuse to accept, right? I mean, I'm like, okay, so I have fibromyalgia. What the heck is that? And like, now what? I don't want to live like what's around the corner for me health wise. So that's why I figured I would just stay active in hopes that that will help. I do a lot of walking. I put ankle weights on around my ankles to help kind of give me like an extra oomph on my walk. And it has actually helped trim down my hips and my waist a little bit. So, but I was actually going for toning my legs, but whatever. I'm okay with a little bit of a, smaller hip, a little bit. It's fine, I guess. Stayed active all your life, only 52. You look great from your profile photo for 52, Angelique. Amazing. If you're able to go out, it's a nightmare. Oh man, Jane, I feel so bad for you. Well, as long as I guess you can live kind of indoors, build yourself an amazing oasis inside so that you do love to be in the comfort of your home, right? That's my thing. If you have to be at home, make it like the best home for yourself and have those things that you really want to have. Like they have those inflatable jacuzzi tubs now. I think it's only like $600. You lay that a mat down and stuff, and you can literally like inflate this thing and have your own jacuzzi in your home. Like it doesn't matter if you're in an apartment building or what. Like amazing. They're probably cheaper even where you guys are because they're like $600 here. That's Canadian. So mm. Oh, that's great. I love being open, because I feel like the honesty helps us to share experiences and share sort of, you may not be going through it, but you can now relate a little bit having heard, a friend or an acquaintance or somebody like this that you've met going through something, right? And you live in a beautiful house with mountains. You are so lucky. I saw mountains for the first time in my life this past summer. I decided to combine going to buy a vehicle in British Columbia, which is BC. That's our mountain area. And I'm like I said, I'm central Canada, so there's no mountains. It's very flat lands, prairie lands, very, very flat. Um, you're welcome, Angelique. You have everything except your health. Yes, well, you cannot buy that. That is true. Hello, Said. Just wanted to say I love your work, lady. Oh, thank you. I think your name is Chels. Chels. So thank you for that. Glad to see me happy. Thank you. Hey, Leanne. So yeah, shoot, I got into the comments there and I forgot what the heck I was saying. It's Chelsea for short. Nice. That's awesome. But shoot, now I forgot what I was talking about. That happens to me sometimes. Oh, yes, the mountains. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yeah, so I combined a road trip with going to see the mountains for the first time in my life. So I took a bus out there. It was like 2.5 days. And so I obviously fell asleep on the bus a couple times. But at one point, I woke up and I was literally right beside the mountain, like right beside it. And I literally woke up like this, like, and I'm like tapping people next to me that I don't even know. And I'm like, look, like, they're huge, huge. Never seen mountains in my life. I was blown away. I mean, blown away. I literally call it God's art because it's so massive. Whose else art could it be? Like, but whatever. Honestly, huge. And I had never seen mountains in my life. And it was amazing. I mean, amazing. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear you have lupus. Shanann Watts actually had lupus too. And I thought that that was interesting that she ended up being able to have 3 kids. Because from what I understand, lupus makes it so your body cannot have children, from what I understand, Chels. Maybe you can help clear up some of that information for us. Have I seen the pyramids? No, I have never seen the pyramids, but one day I'd like to travel there and check it out because I hear that they're built like symmetrically, like on target of like impossible measurements. Like she lost a baby. Okay, so what does lupus do to the body? Anxiety and panic attacks suck, Christine. I've learned to sort of control mine, but I do sometimes still get them where it just starts panicking inside when I'd really like to directly calmly deal with this. And all of a sudden I'm feeling like panicked, and things in my tone are coming out more harsh. And you know, yeah, I totally understand the panic stuff sometimes. Anxiety. Fabulous story. Thanks, Jane. Oh man, it was great, those mountains. I'd never seen that in my life, and it was just beautiful. When I was driving back home, because I did buy a vehicle, the vehicle ended up being a complete lemon. It was not a good purchase. I didn't get it looked at before I took it, and I ended up losing out big time on that. But regardless, I got to see the amazing mountains, and as I was driving back home in the car, it was amazing. Salut, Lahina. Lahina. Sorry, I always feel bad because I'm not sure if I can say your name properly. And because I can't hear you say it, I can't repeat it the way you're saying it. So I have to try to say it the way I see it. And I'm like, I'll just call you La. But so what is the deal though with the lupus and pregnancy? Yeah, it's perfect. Thank you. It's a beautiful name, though. I can't even imagine if I had that to write it, how beautiful it would look to cursively write that out. I bet you it's just so feminine and pretty. That's cool. You're used to it? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess that would happen repeatedly, eh? Where you're just like, whatever. Just call me L. That's funny. Excuse me. What is an anticoagulate? Co- Darn it, I can't say that word. What is an anticoagulant problem? Oh, where your blood doesn't clot. Okay. Played a big part in my loss. Okay, okay. Excuse me. Yeah, how is lupus diagnosed? It's probably a blood test, Jane. That's a good guess, I would think. Thanks for the thumbs up, you guys. I have 3 now. That's great. It's an autoimmune. Okay. Attacks itself. Oh, weird. So, how does that affect the body being able to be pregnant, though? I don't understand why the media is saying that Shanann Watts had overcome, so much with her lupus to have to be pregnant a third time and stuff. And I'm like, well, like I don't understand the disease very well, or whatever it is. Sorry, maybe not a disease. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that like that. But butterfly rash across cheeks and nose. What does that? Not a cure. Oh, that's sad. That's too bad. But I mean, can you just cover that up with makeup gels? There's a lot of really good makeups out there, like that Dermacol. I actually have some of it, and it basically covers up tattoos. Like it's foundation that literally covers up any like birthmarks or anything. Like I've seen it used all around the world, and I'm sure in the the movie industry and the modeling industry and stuff like that, right? If you have a mark and stuff. I don't know if Thrive was the healthiest for baby because there's literally warning statements on those products stating that if you're pregnant to not take it. So, oh, you can still tell Chels when it flares. Okay. When your body doesn't clot properly. Yeah, okay. Ah, hello, Amanda. Well, so does it attack then the pregnancy, or did I did I like the Thrive? Did I take some more? No, I just got those samples because I did want to see for myself, to be perfectly honest. I wanted to see what the heck was in these things. And I really wish I could find out what's in the protein bars and stuff, but I never got any of those. I just got the shake, the pills, and the patch. And apparently the patch is just caffeine or something. But I don't know. I thought about taking it, but to be honest with you, it takes a couple of days to even kick in and stuff. And I only had like a 2 day sample of it, so I thought with everything that from what I can hear about it, yeah, I thought maybe it's probably better. I just don't even bother. I didn't really like a lot of the ingredients, I won't lie. The vitamins, maybe, yes, fine, okay, but all the other stuff that was added to that, I was a little bit concerned with. Mm, good cup of coffee, yes. Yeah, apparently it was like speed. If your body will attack itself, it will attack a baby. No way. Okay. See, I didn't know that because I've never even had a friend that's had lupus that I know of. Blood pressure, blood testing. There's no lupus test. Oh, really? But so then how do they diagnose something like lupus if there isn't even a test for it? I mean, that might be a stupid question, but I'm so like, huh? Yeah, like that's what I don't understand then, why Shanann was able to have not only one, but two, but three, pregnancies. And I mean, had she not have lost her life, I feel like she probably would have followed that pregnancy with Nico would have followed through and she would have had a third child, And so I'm wondering, like, are the doctors misdiagnosing? Could it have been that she had something else? Or because, like, that seems like a really serious thing to diagnose. And then for them to not even have a test for it, and then for her to have three babies, I mean, just, I don't know. It is strange. It didn't really all fit together, you know? Coffee, not speed, works for me. Yeah, no kidding, Alia. No kidding. Right, still getting treatment. Okay. Do you already have a family, Chels, or too much strange stuff with this case, Lahena? You were so right. It's driving me crazy too. It's like, holy, could we just get some information? What the heck happened? What the heck, went on? And then now, like, what the heck is this punishment, right? So you take Adderall. What is Adderall? I don't actually even know. The only things that I'm personally on is an antidepressant now, um, and occasionally like a light evening antidepressant. But and then I have naproxen for inflammation and stuff. But I got rid of a lot of meds when I switched myself over to the medical marijuana. It was empowering. It's a stimulant. Yes, exactly. I smoke regularly too. I like the stuff that actually just the CBD stuff is my favorite. What is narcolepsy, Leanne? October 17th. What's October 17th? I think it's November 19th, isn't it? For Watt's case? I think October 22nd is. Oh, sorry. Yes, October 17th. I don't know why I didn't recognize that date. Oh, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I'm a little too blonde for my own good. Ay, ay, ay. Yes, everybody's talking about it. Interesting how, even though federally across the board, that everybody's legalizing it in Canada, each province is going to have their own sort of, um, municipal laws, I want to say, right? Like they're going to have their own provincial laws. So when you're going from province to province with whatever, you're going to have to know your different laws as far as it goes. Transporting or bringing your meds or even just using your meds in another province. So what's GA stinks? Is that Georgia maybe? I don't know. And my geography's really crappy, Amanda. I'm sorry. You're probably laughing at me. Medical marijuana is the only thing that helps me for my pain. Yeah, the naproxen only helps with the inflammation, Angelique. What's the NSAIs? Eventually, they eat through your stomach. What is all the NSAIs? What is that? Um, and Lahina, yes, October 17th is the legalization date. Interesting, as I was saying, though, how they're going to have different laws in each province. Like in Manitoba, you aren't allowed to grow your own medical marijuana, excuse me, unless you have a prescription. And I think you're allowed to grow 3 or 4 plants. Um, Open to sending you my number. Sure, yeah. And narcolepsy is a sleep-wake cycle issue. Oh, okay. Interesting. 20 years now. So, Charles, my only concern is if you put your number up here, won't everybody see it? So, if you want, scroll through right around the beginning of when I started this. I gave my email address out. If you want to shoot me an email, I can give you a call when I have some time for sure. I am originally from Canada. Yeah, I was born and raised. 20 years now that I smoke. Yeah, me too, Lahina. Finally, your dream come true. Didn't know. Yeah, yeah. Non-steroid, steroidal anti-inflammations or inflammatories. Oh, okay. Oh, you did ask for an email? I'm sorry, Chels. Yeah, no, I thought you were like saying something about your number there. So I did leave my email. I'll just type it in again for you though, so you don't have to go fishing through all the comments if but sometimes that might be a pain in the butt, right? I don't know. Let me just send it again. Then oh, did you find it? There you go. Of course you found it. But yeah, sorry I misunderstood that there, Chels. I think it is a little bit of a dream come true about the legalization. I was a little bit kind of shocked at all of the stipulations that are happening around it. Like sometimes you're out and about and, you've had a meal and you'd like to go and have one of your smokes, you don't smoke cigarettes and you're in a public place now in Manitoba. You're not allowed to go and smoke. You would need to be in your own private home or somebody's home. You have to be in a residence. Thank God for for Trudeau. Yeah, he's definitely the new aged prime minister compared to his dad, eh? But I mean, I guess every prime minister does something a little bit big, right? So this was it for Trudeau, I think. We're not on the right page. Yeah, I know, right, Chels? Yeah, it'll be a good thing though. You know, the fact that we're going to be able to carry a certain amount with us, I mean, that to me is frustrating. Knowing that you need a medication, but you have to leave it at home in order to travel to a certain place, and then you have to try to find it when you get out there. Because there are dispensaries all around the world and stuff, it's like great, but at the same time, you're just arriving to a new place. You don't really know where you're going. You're traveling, right? And now you need to go and find something that your body needs, you know. So that I thought was a little bit frustrating, right? So the fact that they're allowing you to be able to sort of transfer or bring along 30 grams, but that's only traveling within Canada. Yeah, I think that it could educate a lot of people. I think there's still a lot of stigma around it, especially with like the elderly, or but I mean that depends too, because it's the family dynamic, right? If your elderly grandfather was having trouble trying to keep any food down, but his young grandson, had some stuff that he could smoke, and all of a sudden he's super hungry because he's got the munchies, and it's an indica strain that does that. Next thing you know, he's eating and he's healthier and he's holding it down because his body wanted it, versus he's sick and old and his body is sort of you know kind of conflicting with what it needs, right? Sorry for your ignorance of what tissue they can eat, drink, and out and about. Don't feel like your question is silly or stupid. That's what I was saying in the beginning of the show, is that it's nice that we can come together and be able to ask those silly, stupid questions to each other and not feel, undermined or demeaned because we didn't know. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to talk with each other. So, um, I don't think you're going to be allowed to smoke anywhere in a public place, eating or drinking. That being said, that's here in Manitoba. You go over to Ontario, and wherever there is smoking cigarettes, you can smoke your marijuana. So they have a different law set up. But I mean, like I said, every province is doing it a little bit differently. So you almost have to educate yourself, especially if you're planning on traveling somewhere new, right? I mean, and that's kind of with anything, right? You don't want to go to a new country and accidentally do something wrong and you end up in their prison or something, you know? Absolutely, Lahina. I love talking about anything and everything. Gotta go, preschooler. See you later, Charles. Take care. Email me. I'll get back to you for sure. Karen drove across US. Crazy how some states it was legal, and the next state you could be sent to jail. Isn't that crazy, right? And literally just crossing a line. And you could literally be putting yourself in harm's way in the legal field. I mean, that's huge and scary, like super scary. Who wants to go to another country and end up in their prison system? Like, oh my gosh. I mean, our own prison systems where we live are bad enough, never mind to go to another country. Like, holy crap, right? So, I mean, that's the last thing you want to do is do something wrong or illegal, right? And that's what I've been encouraging with all of my friends and people that I know is as long as you're following the rules and the you know the laws of the road, the laws of possessioning, you know, having this substance with you, the laws on you know carrying it with you, you know, transporting it and stuff, and then how you're supposed to do that, you know. There's a lot of different ways, you know. You can't have it all bagged up into like the 1 gram bags like the kids on the corners are selling and stuff like that. That means that you're trafficking at that point, right? So you can have it in, you know, 1 bag, you can have a bunch in there and you can have a certain amount, and you know you're allowed to go certain places with it and you're allowed to use it in certain places and then not in others. So knowing those things could kind of be your lifeline, you know, in those situations. Used to work in a pharmacy and some pain meds. I know, it's ridiculous. Oh, girl, Leanne, I'm telling you, man, the pain meds and stuff, the medication alone that I've paid for in the past 10 years of being diagnosed with different you know, things like depression and then having the sleep troubles and you know, my own personal issues. So the fibromyalgia, like, I mean, it just, the amount of pain meds that I went through and the amount of money that I've spent in the pharmaceutical industry is just, it's insane. And I hear that there's people in the States that, I mean, they literally have to, some of them choose between whether they're going to eat or have their meds because, you know, they just don't have enough for both. Like, it's sad. That's really sad. In my opinion, and I know that the pharmaceutical company is a multi-billion-dollar industry, it honestly really shouldn't be taking advantage of us as much as they do. I feel like there should be some kind of a break, some kind of a tax benefit give back, you know, some kind of hey, you've been paying for medications for the past so and so many years, so here's a return on some of that. I don't know, but it is a huge billion-dollar industry, and it doesn't ever give back. It, you know, even our governments give back with, you know, with GST checks and income tax return money and stuff like that. You never see anything back as far as meds go unless you're going to claim some of that at the end of the year. So really frustrating, you know, and I think that the marijuana is going to take over a lot of that. Now, the fact that they're legalizing it just means that they're going to be able to have their hand in on their profit sharing of that, of those sales, right? Karen, I wonder if people in prison for trafficking marijuana will be released. You know what? I heard that they are actually going to be overturning a lot of the charges for the possession and trafficking once it's legalized because of these new laws. Because how can they punish kids for that now or whatever if they're going to legalize it? So yeah, there's going to be a bunch of cases that are going to be overturned where charges are going to be dropped and you know, slates are going to be wiped clean and people are going to be given another chance. And what I have to say to them is now just don't fuck up. Now keep going and go do something normal with your life. Get a job flipping burgers, whatever it is. Just don't go back out there and start selling something else now. And then you end up in the same cycle or circle and you become, you know, the statistic where you're in and out of jail all the time because you're doing the wrong thing. I mean, honestly, you will look over your shoulder far less if you're doing life the right way, you know? If you're not selling illegal drugs, yes, people will probably switch to selling other things, but then that's a choice at that point. And well, like if you're going to make the wrong choice, you're going to have to pay for that one day, you know? I worked as a tech and also had to do register. I felt, yeah, yeah, dirty taking their money. Yeah, it's a huge industry all in itself. Just the drug world is a huge multi-billion dollar industry as well, probably bigger than pharmaceutical, to be honest. Um, so sorry, yeah, Angelique, I take Prazolam at night. Help shut your brain off from intrusive thoughts, nightmares. Okay. I don't have any issues with that, but I'm sorry to hear I'm curious what you went through that was so traumatic, for the PTSD there that you're dealing with. Yeah, we did that here in Washington. People being freed out of jail. I've heard about it, and I hear that it's happening in Canada too. It's already been on the news with um, some of like the senates and stuff stating that that's going to be re-looked at for sure, and re-examined, like if that's their only charge, it's going to get dropped. Now, does that mean that the judicial system is going to get a lot stickier and it's not just going to be like they're going to be looking for more reasons to be suspicious to be arresting people for other reasons now, if it's not just drug possession or trafficking and stuff? So yeah, yeah, I knew the states was already releasing people. Well, so we've done another hour at the CNC with Sherry. I thought we'd do like coffee and chat. I don't know. This is a little bit more loose than a talk show, but I think it's a lot more interactive than a talk show as well. Talk show is sort of more set with other people they're talking to, and they really don't pay attention to the audience. And I like interacting with the audience. So childhood crap, mother, ex-boyfriend tried to kill you. Oh my gosh, girl, I'm so sorry to hear that. Stay safe. Oh my goodness. You know, I too have been in an abusive relationship in my mid 30s for the first time in my life. I consider myself to be a very strong woman. And for the first time in my life, I found myself in that situation. However, just prior to that, I used to kind of make fun of those women in a sense, in a bad way. I would say, well, they're just stupid. Why don't they just leave? And I wasn't, I didn't really realize what I was saying. And then I found myself in the situation, sort of learning firsthand how things get caught up so quickly into you making excuses of maybe this was my fault, or I did ask for that, or I did say something wrong, or none of that was okay. And I felt really bad for ever having thought that way about women in that situation. I felt horrible that I had ever thought that way. And now having had been through that, I understand, and I no longer think like that. I find myself thinking opposite when I find, like, I catch myself, like, if I think that I'm trying to think like the way I used to, like that, when I was younger and I was young and dumb. I catch myself like, you don't know what they're going through, Sherry. You don't judge. So I've tried my darndest as an adult to live my life judge free, like whether or not I agree with what they're doing or what they're saying or what they believe, it really doesn't matter, because that's their belief or their thought or their opinion, and it's nothing to do with me, right? So I feel like I kind of grew up. I'm not going to be so judgmental. I'm going to let that go and let everybody be whoever they want to be, and then just be who I am and show them the greatest part of myself. And if that helps bring a smile to someone else's face, great. If they hate me for it, well, what can I do? You can't please everybody, but you also shouldn't judge anybody because you don't know what they've gone through. So I learned a lot over the years growing up, you know. Women empowering women. I totally agree with you, Angelique. Like I felt very wrong that I did that in my inside, you know, because that wasn't something that I necessarily said out loud. You know, it was something that I thought inside, like, well, why would you let somebody hit you and then stay with them and love them? And then I found myself in exactly that for 2 years because I loved him. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I get it, Lord. Like, I'm sorry that I ever judged, and I backed out of that, you know, train of thoughts and processing, and chose to you know move it in a different direction and be more accepting, whether or not I agree or not, you know. So this has been really great, everybody, and coffee and chat again next week, and we'll see if I have something for a topic or if we'll just kind of wing it again and share little stories and go with this again. So it's a part, I think it's a part of life and growing. Choose kindness and choosing kindness. Yes, it is. It's definitely yeah, definitely a growing thing, and it's a choice for sure. I choose to be kind. Yes, I do. See you guys soon. Okay. Love you all and have a great, wonderful day and stay safe out there. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.